We have an update from one of our sponsors, the VegasNearMe app. They are constantly working to add more information. We tell you that all the time. The app is free. We also tell you that. But gosh, when we get these updates, it really is incredible how much information is inside.
Yeah, VegasNearMe has recently partnered with Vegas.com to get you the best prices on show tickets. In fact, they have over 1,000 shows listed inside the app.
And also, we know sometimes you need a quick break or a familiar go-to when you're in Las Vegas. And they do have more than 1,400 chain restaurants and stores listed in there. They have more than 8,000 individual locations, so you can find them. We're talking Walgreens, Starbucks, fast food, you name it.
And we all love to save money, don't we? Well, Vegas Near Me is going to help with that too. Right now, they're offering 50% off of shows at Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club, plus a $99 bottle package at Crazy Horse 3 for up to 4 people, including transportation.
Yeah, that's a good deal. And there's lots of other deals in there too. So get in and look around. Vegas Near Me is free. You don't have to put in your email. Download it in the Google or Apple App Store. Hours, locations, even the length of shows are in there. It's really good. You can even find live music, kid-friendly activities, maps of inside the hotels and casinos. It really is a lot of information in your hand.
It is. Vegas Near Me. Download it today. Following the Fontainebleau's big grand opening, there's drama with Justin Timberlake on a couple fronts. Fallout from his performance and where he stayed.
But man, that show was good. It's been more than 15 years in the making, and the Fontainebleau Las Vegas is finally open. We have so much coverage for you ahead.
Let's spin that wheel and get right to it. Welcome to Vegas Revealed, episode 198. Sean McAllister and Dana Roselli with you. And man, do we have a packed episode, all Fontainebleau.
I know. We've got a couple other things to throw in there too, but we've got a lot of coverage from the Fontainebleau, and we're going to get right to it. I want to just do a quick thank you to our sponsors, HotWorks Infrared Fitness Studio. Make sure you do not ignore yourself during the holidays. Exercise in an infrared sauna, more workout, less time, and they're still offering to waive that enrollment fee if you mention Vegas Revealed when you visit for your free class. Locations are in our show notes.
Also, thank you to the Vegas Near Me app, where you can find everything you need about what to do or see, where to go in Las Vegas, all in one place. Download it for free in the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store.
All right, so let's get to Justin Timberlake. Let's just start it off.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
Just rip it off. The show was amazing. The show was also part of the private grand opening party. So not everyone got to see the show. It was not a ticketed show. We did the red carpet, we attended the party, and we went to the show. And we kind of knew it was going to happen. But then he came out on stage and it was like, okay, done deal. Because we've been talking about it, and we assumed we were 99.9% sure.
Well, and there were a lot of guests at the party who had no idea who the performer was going to be. You talked with someone who was like, what? We were going to leave.
Yeah. This couple was right in front of me in line, and they had seen because there was some performances from Paul Anka, and also some aerialists and some great singers and showgirls. It was great. But they were like, okay, well, I think we might head down to the nightclub now. And I was like, well, you're not going to stay for Justin Timberlake? And they're like, what? No. And they were like, oh my God. And this one woman was like, honey, to her husband, let's go back in. Oh my God, get my drink order. And so, yeah, I mean, it was a legit surprise for many people.
Yeah. And man, Justin Timberlake is just such a great performer. I mean, the singing, the dancing, the horn section, he had the Tennessee Kids, his band up there with him. It was great.
What a great show.
Classic Justin Timberlake performance. Phenomenal.
Sang all the hits. Exactly. I felt like he didn't miss one that I was waiting for. He talked to the audience. I mean, man, he can move, and he hit those high notes.
He did.
I was looking at my friend Melissa going, man, he can sing.
He can sing.
And I hate to say he's still got it because he's still young. You know, Justin's only like, what, 42?
He's younger than us.
Yeah. So there you go. He looked great. He sounded great. And I'm like, man, he can perform. You know, it's interesting because we posted a bunch of clips on social media, and it's interesting the mixed comments. And I had no idea that like Justin Timberlake was not liked or at all. I had no idea. And I'm not saying we're getting tons of comments that people are, but I'm like, there's just this big controversy of like, well, he used to be better. And I'm like, you guys, are you looking at the same person? Because that was an incredible show.
Yeah, I've thought the exact same thing. But there has been fallout from that show too.
Yeah.
There was one moment, then we were in there, we saw it happen, where they had a kind of a runway that stuck out into the audience from the stage. He was walking out there. He kind of turned around, faced the band, and as he was turning back around, before he started singing Cry Me a River, he said, "No disrespect," and then went into Cry Me a River, which this is all connected to the Britney Spears memoir.
Okay, yeah, I don't get that whole thing.
And
I'm like, I would have never known that.
So people are like,
I was just like, sing Cry Me a River.
Right.
I love it.
So people are like, oh, he's dissing Britney.
Why?
Blah,
is
blah,
Cry Me a
blah.
River about that? I don't
It's
get
about
it.
their fallout after their breakup.
Okay, yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm there for the beats.
So there's a lot of stuff online if you want to do a deep dive into the whole controversy, but we just wanted to acknowledge that people are talking about that. It's making headlines. We're not going to go deep into it. But that happened. It was part of the show.
Yeah. Something that a lot of people are talking about, well, outside of even Las Vegas, though, is this Instagram post that Justin made and his wife, Jessica Biel. And it was a cute post.
It was adorable.
Yeah.
I didn't even think anything controversial when I looked at it.
Because our mind doesn't automatically go to stirring up drama and controversy. Other people's
I looked at it, I was like, oh, what a good husband he is.
Exactly. He was carrying her shoes down the hallway at the end of the night, you know, and it was them from the back. Anyway, people started to notice that it wasn't the Fontainebleau, and that's where he performed. He got paid a lot of money for the Fontainebleau show, apparently, reportedly, millions. And people felt like that's so odd. He's not staying at the Fontainebleau. And then the Win took that photo and made their own post. And that's where it gets a bit tricky.
Yeah. So this post that was up on the Win's Instagram page, it was the same picture that Justin put out, but their caption said, "Where everyone ends up, only Win."
Yeah, that was...
And everyone was like, oh, the shade of it all.
Oh, my gosh. You know, because he never referenced the Win.
No, he didn't.
You know, it was just a cute picture, and he tagged his wife. But here's where it gets even trickier. The Win also tagged Justin
and Jessica.
And then later untagged them. Then later, the post came down.
After all this brouhaha ensued. Here's the thing.
I'm curious. Who's mad at who? I'm just dying to know. Is Justin mad? Is Jessica mad? Is the Fontainebleau mad at the Win? Is the Win's higher execs like, that wasn't cool? Take that down. What are you doing? We want good partnerships. I'm dying to know the inside.
Well, maybe we can chalk it up to a neighborly dispute.
Yeah, a neighborly dispute.
Who knows? But bottom line, it's not unusual for entertainers to stay at a different property than where they perform. It happens all the time in Las Vegas. There could be a headliner at a certain property, Caesar's Palace, for example, and they may not be staying on property at Caesar's Palace. Period. And leading up to that, Jessica Biel had a post that she was at NFR, and
the background in that photo, they're at the Wynn, and this was a couple days before. I mean, Justin probably in town with the dancers rehearsing. She's, with her friend and they're going to NFR and Fontainebleau wasn't open yet.
Right.
And so, could they have made a room for them? I'm sure staff was staying on site. Sure, but there's also, the restaurants aren't open. I don't know if the room service is open yet. There's no spa. So you're going to stay at a hotel that's operational. Not saying, again, this is all in my mind what could have been. Also, when you're in town for a while, you don't want to move all your stuff.
No, you're not going to stay for 4 nights over at Wynn, then pack all your bags, move over, and for 1 night, no.
Plus, there's so many people, getting it ready over there at the Fontainebleau, and who knows, maybe they wanted some privacy. They're like, well, we don't want, if everyone thinks we're going to stay there, we don't want, there's so much that could be involved in that. Regardless, so like you said, you don't have to stay at the property. He was paid to put on a show.
He was paid to be their entertainer.
Yeah.
And he was a fantastic entertainer.
He was.
His concert added a lot to that grand opening. I think this controversy is dumb and it needs to go away because it's just stupid.
It's true. I don't know. Yeah, that was silly. But, I must say, interesting for the Wynn to post that. And I think they were trying to be funny. I don't think it sat well. And we don't know. I think what it comes down to is did they get permission?
Right.
Anybody can repost something and tag someone, but Justin did post some great Insta stories and some great posts from the show. Loved it. I love the Insta story he posted with, all the dancers getting pumped up before the show in the back. And, he hasn't performed in a while. So it was great to see him on stage. Others saying, gosh, you got paid so much for this gig. And that too, it's why is it any of your business? I would have done that too for $1 million. It's but you can't dance and you can't sing. So no, you couldn't have done that.
Exactly.
Justin is talented.
Exactly.
He's worked hard through the years since he was a child to get to where he is today. You can't do that. And that's the caliber you get.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's get to the fun stuff as well. That was fun, by the way. I don't mean that wasn't, but the controversies are kind of, but we had to talk about it.
Yeah, so we're done with the controversy. There were a ton of other celebrities there in addition to Justin Timberlake. We saw Cher on the blue carpet. We saw Sylvester Stallone, Kim Kardashian, Kendall Jenner, Eva Longoria. Lenny Kravitz. I talked to someone at the bar at the theater before Justin's show, and she was like, we were standing next to Bill Gates downstairs.
Yeah, there's video of him dancing to Justin Timberlake on TMZ. It's great. I love it.
And then Dana, your guy, the GOAT.
Oh, yeah, Tom Brady. I was so excited. I've always wanted to see Tom Brady in person, and I finally got to see him in person. It's him too. Boy, the people on TikTok, their comments, a lot of people love the GOAT. They call him the greatest of all time and Tom Brady, but there's other people who are just constantly complaining about certain things and whatever. But one thing that rang true and consistent in the comments on TikTok and Reels and Facebook, people were surprised to see how tall he actually is.
He's crazy tall.
You know why? Because he's standing there on the carpet and all the people around him look so short. So people are like, I had no idea that he was this tall. So yeah, he's tall.
See, it's context. If he's out there with a whole bunch of other tall football players, you don't realize how tall they all are.
It's true.
Until you're next to a normal sized person.
I know. It's so true. And then, that iconic picture that was put out by the Fontainebleau of him and Tom Brady and Cher and Paul Anka all at the craps table. And Justin throwing the dice. Tom was towering over everyone. So it's he's really tall. But Tom just took a couple pictures and then moved on. He's good friends with the CEO and chairman of Fontainebleau Development, Jeffrey Sofer. And we actually talked to him coming up here in a little bit. So we'll have more from Jeffrey. Also saw Keith Urban out at Valet when we went to put our equipment there after the carpet to go back into the party. And I ran right over and I said, Keith, I've always wanted to meet you. And we had a great chat about Las Vegas and New York City. And he was saying that him and Nicole just went to see the Rockettes perform at Radio City, and they love it, and it's part of the tradition, and blah, 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 blah. It was great. And I was like, well, we have the Rockettes outside the Sphere now. And he goes, oh, that's right. And so we had a good little chat. And
he was so kind. He is such a nice guy.
So nice. Smelled so good, by the way. And I am picky. I like a good smelling man.
Well, it was kind of funny. It was like there was nobody else out at Valet other than Keith and us.
Yeah. So he was so nice, and he had his guy take a bunch of pictures with me, and I got my phone back, and there were like 7 to choose from. I'm like, this guy is great.
He knows how to do it.
Yeah. So anyway, great to meet Keith Urban. He did a pop-up performance right in the middle of the casino. That was awesome. So many surprises throughout the night. There were also some live singers and bands. There was food and drink and a martini bar and all sorts of stuff. People just really came out. It was black tie. And people were dressed to the nines. I like that too.
Yeah. I mean, it was a classy event, and they did such a good job with it. We also talked with the man. Oh, I feel like I had a Peter Brady moment right there. My voice just went crazy. We also spoke with the man behind Live Nightclub, David Grootman, who founded Group Hospitality down in Miami. The nightclub at Fontainebleau announced their first resident DJ, and he's a younger guy, not even 30 years old. His name is John Summit, but he is taking over the nightclub and EDM world. Really popular, and we talked to both of them on the blue carpet as everyone arrived to the party.
You just talked to your new resident DJ. He's amazing.
John Summit?
Yeah. Great.
Wow.
He was telling us he's bringing something fresh and new.
Yeah, this guy is like, I'm going to bring the heat every time. And we have him for the next 3 years, so we're excited about this.
Great. What opportunity does it bring you to have the global base that Vegas draws in coming to your shows here at Fontainebleau?
It's incredible because that opens me to brand new audiences, and someone that's trying to tour the world. I just did Asia for a month, just did a whole summer in Ibiza. I think it's good to have that global appeal here.
First impressions of the property?
I think it's beautiful.
I love him. He is just fresh, excited to be here, young. I want to go to the nightclub and hear him do a set. I'm excited about it.
I mean, he brings the party, and his eyes were like bright and wide open, looking around at everything, and good for him.
I know. We also had some time with Jeffrey Sofer, the CEO and chairman of Fontainebleau Development. And I enjoyed this because we got to talk to him about this journey that he has been on. And he has recognized it in everything. He recognized it at the ribbon cutting. He recognizes it when we chat with him. This has been a while.
I felt like this morning at the ribbon cutting, you were a little emotional. I mean, this is a long time coming for you. I mean, how does it feel today to be here and seeing people enjoy it, not just you?
I think it feels great. I mean, it's just obviously it's been a long road. I think we built the nicest resort in the city, and I think it's definitely going to change the dynamics here. And I think that it's just great to be a part of this whole thing. It's been really it's a long road. I mean, these projects are not easy, and they're complex, and getting everything right in them is complicated. And to see it come alive it feels really great.
And I know we have a lot of famous faces here tonight to celebrate the grand opening. Is this something that we can expect regularly? On an ongoing basis, a celeb hotspot?
I think you'll see famous people, but you see them here regularly as well. It's Las Vegas, right? So they're always here. But yes, we're happy to have them.
And the one last thing I was going to say was, I mean, we have so many hotels. What makes this different? For people listening, why come to the Fontainebleau? I mean, I know it's iconic and I know it's amazing, but in your words.
Well, I think it's obviously the design of it, the high ceilings, our food and beverage offerings are different. It's a new resort in 2023, and there really hasn't been a resort built like this since the Wynn opened in 2005. So we're excited.
Kind of a full circle moment right there for the podcast, because we started talking about that controversy with Wynn, and Jeffrey Sofer right there gave props to the Wynn for being such an iconic luxury property on the Las Vegas Strip.
Yeah, very interesting. So we'll see what happens there, but they are close. One thing I do love, I can tell you this, is that the properties that are opening on the north end of the Strip are like bringing some new buzz and filling that space.
Yeah.
And I just think it's great that now we have Resorts World and the Wynn and the Sahara and the Fontainebleau all there in that area, and it's walkable from one to the other now.
Yeah, it is. And we've needed that kind of life up at that end of the Strip for quite some time. So it's incredible seeing that development happen. Also on the blue carpet, we spoke with Michael Bay. He is a film director known for, the big budget action movies. And, we said, this, how to do things big. What do you think about this place? Because they have definitely gone big.
What do you think of Vegas?
I come a couple times a year. I shot movies here and shot around like Red Rock, different places.
So what are the chances Fontainebleau shows up in one of your upcoming movies?
I did the old Fontainebleau on a movie I did in Miami.
Yeah, so interesting, talking about the Fontainebleau and other movies. And I mean, it is an iconic spot in Miami. Listen, I went there when I was a child. We took a cruise, and my parents said, when we're done with the cruise and we get off at the port in Florida, we're going to stay at the Fontainebleau for 2 days. And they wanted to bring us because the pool, they were known for this big pool, and we stayed there. And it was like so exciting when my parents had always wanted to stay there. And so we did it up. And anyway, so yeah, it is iconic.
Well, I could see that building being like the focus of a big budget film set in Las Vegas, can't you?
Yes, definitely. Well, let's talk food, because when we did our tour last week, we kind of went into detail about all the different restaurants, and we went in all of them. And there are some that are first to market. So it's a big deal. There are a lot of firsts at the Fontainebleau.
There are. Gail Simmons, who you might know as a judge for a long time on the hit reality competition show Top Chef, she was there as well. She's a food writer, author. She was in town for the opening and excited to check out all of the new food and beverage destinations that Fontainebleau is bringing here to Las Vegas. And we got her thoughts on that.
This is my first time back in Las Vegas in 8 years.
What?
I know.
Come on.
So everything here feels new and exciting.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, I feel like it's been a minute since Vegas has had like such a massive opening like this of restaurants. So many incredible restaurants from around the country, from around the world. Some really big firsts in America that are going to be here for the first time. Chefs that I love and admire. It's just like a beautiful curation, I think, of so many different cuisines, different concepts, but also some of the most kind of creative, innovative chefs that are like alive today. So I was so thrilled when I saw who was going to be here and what they're doing.
I mean, 8 years away from Vegas. Gail, come back and see us soon.
I know. I always think it's weird when you hear something like that, but then I think like I have a lot of friends and family who have never been to Vegas. So
True.
It's not that we're just so used to it, right? Listen, a successful grand opening. The party was lovely. The amount of celebrities at this opening was really unreal. And just such an occasion. It felt like a Planet Hollywood opening,
It did. I mean, and it wasn't an opening that had a bunch of reality stars and like influencers. These were like legit, like superstar caliber celebrities.
I know. And I think that's why I was like compared it to Planet Hollywood. Back in the day, it was like such a big deal, Planet Hollywood. Remember? It was like Sylvester Stallone, and he was there at the Fontainebleau. And then,
Arnold
Bruce
Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis.
It was like all the A-list men showed up. So anyway, congratulations to the Fontainebleau. I, by the way, am just thrilled that something that is right around the corner for me is open and running, and I will be there a lot, I think.
and by the way, we will be going back. We're going to be checking out the bars, restaurants, all that. So you'll probably hear more about it in upcoming episodes.
Some other notes this week that I just wanted to mention. Bruno Mars and Carrie Underwood added new dates to their already lined up shows. So we'll look for that if you want to buy tickets. Carrie added shows in October at Resorts World, and Bruno Mars added early February dates at Park MGM. And this is pretty smart, isn't it?
It's very smart because early February coincides with Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't want to go see Bruno Mars when you're in town for Super Bowl week, right?
I mean,
Smart.
That's just the allure of having Super Bowl in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Not only do you have all the festivities that come with having an NFL championship game here, but you have everything that Las Vegas can throw in on top of it. So it's going to be great.
Also makes me wonder, do you think Bruno Mars is going to pop up in the halftime show with Usher? Because he said that he was going to bring some people on. Maybe because I wonder if Bruno's like, hey, I've got to be there anyway.
I mean, I'd love
that. Could be cool.
That would be incredible.
That would be incredible. All right. You ready? Let's do some tips.
Do it. Now that Fontainebleau is open and accepting guests, we wanted to let you know about arrival, getting there, parking, all that good stuff.
Yeah, parking is always a hot topic, right? Here's the good news. Self-parking is free for 4 hours for Nevada residents, for hotel guests, for guests that visit the property. So that's nice. It's $20 after that.
Beyond that, $20 a day. Beyond that 4 hours of free parking.
Yeah. So for valet, it's $35 to $40. And when I say that, it's $35 like Monday through Thursday. And then the other 3 days on the weekend, it's $40. If you are a reward member, that changes. There's some complimentary parking involved there. It's, let me see, because I know a lot of you will be reward members. Silver Fontainebleau reward members will have complimentary parking Sunday through Thursday. And it will be complimentary daily for Gold Plus Fontainebleau Rewards members. And that's for valet.
And if you are a Las Vegas resident heading over to Fontainebleau, we're told the best way to get in and out is off of Elvis Presley. That's the south entrance. There is an entrance for the self-parking garage off of Elvis Presley. And there is also a separate valet area off of Elvis Presley. So keep that in mind. There's an entrance that brings you right inside to the casino.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It's not a very busy area. So now with the Fontainebleau open, I wonder how the traffic's going to be there. But, I think like it's not as busy as being in the center of the strip. So it's going to be nice.
Yeah.
And that side road, like you said, Elvis Presley is going to be a great way to get in and out of South Park or side valet. They do recommend that you go there if you're just coming to visit, like going to restaurant, show, that kind of thing, because it's easier for everyone. If you're checking in, there's a front valet for you. They also do have a rental car, Hertz rental car on site if you need to, rent a car.
Our second tip this week is Arte Museum. It's been open for a little bit, but we haven't had a chance to talk about it on the podcast yet.
I know, we haven't, and we did some work for them. We have a company called Insightful Media. We're always keeping busy. We do lots of storytelling videos. We do interviews. We media train. We do all that stuff.
Event hosting.
Yeah, if you need us to host your event, we're available. But we did a project with the Arte Museum, so we got to see it and experience it and talk to people as they were leaving. We actually did some exit interviews with people. And let me tell you, a lot of people that we talked to said it's really one of the best immersive museums in town. And I might have to agree.
There are so many different rooms. It's on multiple levels. There are tons of different rooms that you go into, each with a different visual theme, but there are scents that are pumped into the room to enhance your experience in there too.
Yeah, and noise, I don't know, noise is the wrong word.
Ambient
Audio,
sound.
Ambient, beautiful sounds, and you hear the ocean going when you walk into the ocean room, and it's just it's spectacular. Each room is unique and stunning. Something that we love too is the one room, and everyone really seemed to enjoy, where you go and you draw or color in an animal, and then you hand it over, and you actually see your drawing, like the animal crawling along the side of in the visual. It was like zebras and lions.
You color your animal. It gets put under this camera that captures your animal that you just drew and then puts it up on the wall, and it's like your elephant is walking around the room or your monkey is hanging from a branch and animated. Like it animates your still colored drawing. It really is super cool.
Yeah, the whole museum is gorgeous. People really said that they enjoyed it for it took them, I should say, about like 90 minutes to get through. As long as you take your time in each room. There's other people, you could rush through it if you wanted, but I went there to drop off a hard drive, and I noticed there was a line in the middle of the day It was actually after we went to the Durango Casino. So what did we get out? Like 1 o'clock? Something like that?
It might have even been later.
Oh, yeah, maybe a little later. Sorry, it was 3. Yeah, 3 p.m. There was a line. And I was happy to see that. So that means that people are enjoying it. They're reading the reviews. They're coming back. We recommend it. And just so you know, it is located strip side. So it is next to the Cosmopolitan in front of Aria and Crystals, in that area where you can also find Ocean Prime Restaurant.
Yep, the intersection of Las Vegas Boulevard and Harmon. Right on the corner there.
Yeah. So you can check them out online. I think it's $50 for a pass. I know they have specials every now and then. It's the only one in the Western Hemisphere. So pretty cool.
That does it. That was a jam-packed episode with Fontainebleau, with Carrie Underwood, Bruno Mars, Arte Museum. Thank you again to our sponsors, Hotworks Infrared Fitness Studios and the VegasNearMe app, available for all of your devices.
Yeah, and we also talked to a lot of people on the blue carpet. We're going to share some more interviews next week with some of our local casino owners. We talked to Derek Stevens, who was there on the carpet with his wife. He runs Circa downtown and many others. And we talked to Jonathan Jossel. They were both there. And it's interesting, the camaraderie. So we'll have that next week because, you know, it is the holiday as we approach. And we were going to take some time off, but we want to keep giving you some content. And so we saved those interviews, and we're going to talk more about that next week on episode 199.
199. There it is.
Have a great day.
We got bills to pay, packing up a suitcase. Let's take a holiday.